take this opportunity to first thank you for your kind invitation to appear here today. Secondly, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. For the past 12 years, I've worked for the Lowell School Department, so I've known all the students we've sent to you. We send about 73% of your student population, so I do know a lot about 73% of your students. Because we do track them. We look to see what happens to them when they leave us and how well they do. And part of what I'm going to show you today is what happens to some of our students. Because it's truly a blessing that this school exists for our students. They do well here. It's an important educational option for our students. And the first slide that I would show you is that kind of MCAS comparison that we would normally do for our students. But we're breaking it down into 3 cohorts. We have the cohort that goes on to the Honors and High Honors program at Lowell High. We have the cohort that goes on to Greater Lowell Voc. And we have the cohort that goes into the college prep program at Lowell High. And
I am confident in the course of this interview, I will prove to you that I have the qualities and expertise to be your next choice for Superintendent Director. In my opening statement, I will highlight my 3 strongest attributes. My first being my experience, my second being my leadership, and my third being my tenacity. Experience. I've been involved with vocational technical education for over 36 years. Please don't let my youthful appearance fool you. In 1975, as a 14-year-old student at Greater Lowell, I was given the opportunities to participate in multiple experiences. Over those 4 years, the activities and coursework embedded a deep-rooted respect for the teachers and coaches that shaped me into the person I am today. Being a business owner who has hired co-op students, a classroom teacher, and a coach, I learned how to connect with kids, a skill I still depend on as my work as an administrator. My experiences as a cluster chairperson, a technical director, has given me opportunities to inspire and mentor educators in achieving success.
Out of school, I had an automotive background. That was my job. There was that 1974 oil embargo, so the car business was kind of down the tubes. So at that time, I enlisted into the Army because I needed a job. So I did 3 years of active service, then I got back into the industry and stayed in the Army Reserve. I was mobilized in 2003 to serve in Iraq to support the global war on terrorism. I served as a support operations staff sergeant major for the 167th Corps Support Group out of Londonderry, New Hampshire. During my years in the military, I had several different jobs. I was a metal body repairman, a wheeled vehicle mechanic, a longshoreman, post-nation NCO, and a logistician. I began teaching here in 1985, first as a related class instructor in the auto closure program, then as a shop instructor. In 2005, I was appointed to cluster chair of the Manufacturing Transportation Cluster. In 2010, I was appointed to the Director of Technical Studies. I hold an associate's degree and my master's degree from Fitchburg State College.
I've been teaching at the college level about 15 years. What's interesting, I've taught at the high school, community college, as well as the 4-year college and university, as well as graduate school. And whenever I go, it's interesting, when teachers and other students approach me, they refer to me as a vocational teacher. Now, my title has changed, my job has changed, but the way I perceive education, the way I look at people, the way people learn, is through an application process. And it's very important to me that students fulfill their maximum potential. That's really what I'm looking for. And I'm very flattered and appreciative of you bringing me here today, because again, I think of myself in some of my past positions where I've applied for positions where I was considered an outsider sometimes, and because my background may be not as directly similar to somebody I was applying for a position for, and yet I was successful. But the reason I think I had the success was I was able to communicate my vision, and I was able to gather support and trust of the people who worked for me and people who worked with me.
The diversity of the school in terms of its programming, its student body. I have 16 communities right now. The idea of managing and working with 4 communities is compelling in itself. although every community has its own unique, its own uniqueness. The other aspect of, you have a building project, a repair project, an MSBA project approved, is my understanding, and you're moving forward with that. To me, that's also a compelling component of this job, because I've been working for almost 6 years trying to get an MSBA project approved, and I've found that it's kind of diverted me appropriately, but diverted me from the things that I really love to do and do very well, which is building programs and improving learning and teaching for kids and staff. That's what I've made a career out of. That's what I want to be focused on. And as I looked at the opportunities coming up, I would have regretted not taking this opportunity to explore this with you.